South Korea's President Yoon Yeol shocked the nation by declaring martial law, only to lift it hours later. This period of martial law lasted only 2 hours and 35 minutes. This dramatic turn of events sparked protests, political chaos, and international concern. Let's dive into what really happened. On Tuesday, December 3, 2024, at 10:23 p.m. local time, South Korean President Yoon Yeol made a surprise televised address to the nation. In his speech, Yoon declared emergency martial law, citing the need to protect South Korea from pro-North Korean and anti-state forces. President Yoon justified his decision by accusing the opposition of sympathizing with North Korea, paralyzing the government with anti-state activities, slashing crucial budgets for national operations, drug crime prevention, and public safety. Additionally, President Yoon accused the opposition of blocking his policies and attempting to impeach his appointees. Yoon stated, "To defend a liberal South Korea against the communist forces of North Korea and to eradicate anti-state elements, I hereby declare martial law in effect. This is a necessary step to protect the sustainability of the country and the freedom and safety of its citizens from the instability sparked by these anti-state subversive elements." Following the declaration, several measures were immediately implemented. Access to the National Assembly was restricted, preventing lawmakers from entering. All political activities, including those of the National Assembly, local councils, political parties, and associations, were banned. Gatherings, protests, and labor strikes were prohibited. Media came under the authority of the Martial Law Command. The defense minister held an urgent meeting with military personnel to strategize on martial law enforcement. As the martial law took effect at 11:00 p.m., the military began to mobilize. General Park An-soo was appointed as the martial law commander, and a martial law headquarters was quickly established to coordinate military operations under his leadership. Around midnight, military helicopters landed on the premises of the National Assembly. A special operations unit arrived at the scene. The situation escalated when armed troops tried to enter the assembly building. At 12:27 a.m., armed troops attempted to enter, clashing with lawmakers, aides, and staff. By 12:38 a.m., some armed troops had breached the assembly's main building. The declaration of martial law was met with swift and strong opposition from both the ruling and opposition parties. The main opposition Democratic Party called for an emergency parliamentary session at 10:40 p.m. Opposition leader Lee Jae-myung urged all lawmakers to gather at the National Assembly to begin the process of revoking martial law. Lee, in an online live stream, said, "Tanks, armored personnel carriers, and soldiers with guns and knives will rule the country. The economy of the Republic of Korea will collapse irretrievably. My fellow citizens, please come to the National Assembly." Surprisingly, even the ruling Conservative People Power Party opposed the martial law. Han Dong-hoon, leader of the ruling party, criticized Yoon's decision, stating, "Today, the president declared martial law, a declaration that is both unlawful and unconstitutional, failing to meet the necessary requirements." Han joined the call for annulment and headed to parliament. The sudden declaration of martial law sparked an immediate public response. Thousands of demonstrators gathered outside the parliament. Minor clashes occurred between protesters and police and military forces. Despite the ban on political activities, many legislators made their way to the National Assembly. By midnight, 190 lawmakers out of 300 had made it inside, far exceeding the 150 needed to meet the quorum requirement. At 12:48 a.m., the plenary session began. In a display of unity rarely seen in South Korean politics, at 1:01 a.m., a motion to revoke martial law was introduced. By 1:04 a.m., the motion passed with unanimous support. The resolution was approved unanimously by all 190 of the 300 ruling and opposition party members who were present. National Assembly Speaker Woo Won-shik declared the martial law invalid. Faced with overwhelming opposition and parliamentary action, President Yoon was forced to reconsider. At 4:26 a.m., Yoon announced he would drop the martial law in a second nationally televised address. By 4:31 a.m., South Korean troops began returning to their bases. At 4:40 a.m., following an emergency cabinet meeting, the martial law was officially declared lifted. The brief period of martial law left a significant impact on South Korean politics. Opposition parties hinted at immediate impeachment proceedings against President Yoon. The ruling party chair, Han Dong-hoon, urged Yoon to dismiss the defense minister and provide details on the situation. Around 9 a.m., senior presidential aides offered to resign. President Yoon also postponed a scheduled meeting on drug control. The country's main labor union announced an indefinite strike to protest what they called an anti-democratic decision. The martial law declaration had immediate economic repercussions. The Korean currency saw a sharp decline against the US dollar as investors reacted with alarm. South Korea has a long history with martial law, with this being the 17th instance in Korean history. The last time it was declared was in 1979, following the assassination of dictator Park Chung-hee. That period of martial law lasted until 1981 and saw a brutal crackdown on protesters in Gwangju. To understand the events fully, it is important to examine the political context leading up to the martial law declaration. On April 11, 2024, opposition parties won a significant victory in the National Assembly elections, claiming over 60% of the 300 available seats. This result left President Yoon's administration facing a hostile parliament, making it difficult to advance his policies. In August 2024, the Yoon administration proposed a budget of 677.4 trillion won for the upcoming year. On November 29th, the opposition made significant cuts to Yoon's proposed budget, reducing it by 4.1 trillion won. In May 2024, President Yoon apologized on behalf of his wife, First Lady Kim Ki-hee, amid allegations of illegally receiving a luxury bag in 2022. On November 26th, Yoon vetoed a bill proposing a special counsel investigation into corruption claims involving his wife. On November 25th, Lee Jae-myung, the leader of the Democratic Party, was acquitted of charges alleging he had influenced a witness to provide false testimony. On December 2nd, the main opposition Democratic Party filed motions in the National Assembly to impeach 3 senior prosecutors, which conservative leaders condemned as a vendetta. Thus, the martial law crisis in South Korea can be seen as a culmination of several factors. Yoon's administration had been struggling to advance its agenda against an opposition-dominated parliament since taking office in 2022. The recent budget cuts by the opposition were seen as a direct challenge to the government's ability to function. Yoon's tough stance on North Korea contrasted with his predecessor's more conciliatory approach. The accusation that the opposition was sympathizing with North Korea played into long-standing political divisions in South Korea. Yoon's approval ratings had been struggling, with recent surveys indicating his popularity at only 25%. The martial law declaration and its quick reversal are likely to have a significant impact on public perception of his leadership. Thank you for watching. Please like and share this video and subscribe to the channel for more content like this.